Great to be back in the Stifel Financial Sports Studio. And this program, Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar. Great to be with you on a lovely day in St. Louis and a game day in St. Louis. We have the Cardinals on KMOX from Washington, D.C. at 12:35. We'll be off the air here on this show at 11:35 to get you to that. John Mozeliak just before that at 11:25. Certainly a lot of questions for him and for Oli Marmol, the Cardinals manager, at 10:15. In between there, we have a lot of soccer here on this show because there's a soccer game tonight. City plays at Colorado. They take on the Rapids. That one starts at 8:30 on Y98 FM, pregame at 8 o'clock. And we'll hear Jen Cease's interview with not only Chris Durkin, and Santiago Beltran is also involved in that interview. But we have Ty Keough joining us on the show. And Lutz Pfannenstiel, sporting director, St. Louis City SC, will be with us at 11:15 for his live slot. So we have a lot going on. Bradley Carnell was fired on Monday. And the interim coach, John Hackworth, will join us tomorrow morning on KMOX. He'll be in a usual slot from here on out at 8:45 on Mondays. So lots of soccer, lots of baseball, as you can imagine. And we will bring it all to you here on KMOX. That's not all, though, of course. There's a lot of sports going on, but we're concentrating on baseball and soccer today, Drew. Okay. With Drew Young as our producer today, always does a fine job. Yesterday, though, I thought the biggest news of the day was actually what Mizzou football did. They landed a very, very good recruit in Lamont Rogers. Anytime you can steal a 4-star offensive tackle away from Texas, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma, it's a good day. 2 of those schools are in the SEC, and now 3. So one of them you're not going to be playing for a little bit, Texas, but Oklahoma, Texas A&M. This is a big, big get for the University of Missouri to take a player like that away from those schools. Lamont Rogers, 6'8", 320 pounds. Big boy out of Mesquite, Texas, is going to join what is a very good class. So it's going to be fun to see what Mizzou looks like, I think, in the coming years. You know, they have to really crank it up here because these teams are joining the SEC, and it's going to get tougher and tougher to recruit. But Mizzou got ahead of the game on NIL, and they've got some money to offer, some opportunities to offer. They have an AD and Laird Veach who's turning it on there and have a stadium that's going to look really nice and an SEC atmosphere and a fan base that's hungry. I think it's very promising for this area to have Mizzou football and Illinois football good. I think Illinois has a chance to be good. I know Mizzou's going to be good. I think their schedule is very favorable to them, and I think they are going to be the story of 2024 unless the Cardinals win this division. Now, the St. Louis Cardinals got smoked last night or yesterday afternoon, but don't let that cloud everything for you. It's one game in what has been a very good stretch for them, and Lance Lynn got blown up. Trade deadline's coming. Team saved their bullpen last night, thank goodness, in Liberatore and Gallegos, covering the last 5 1/3. So Lynn got blown up, yes. Hope that he doesn't do it again. Concentrate on what they might be able to do at the deadline. We'll talk to Mo about it, and we'll talk to Oli Marmol here in about 5 minutes about his club. But the Cardinals have an opportunity to win this division. The Brewers are going to fall back to earth eventually, you think. I mean, I don't know how they're doing this. They're like the 2015 Cardinals who won 100 games with injuries and things happening to them. The Brewers just keep on going, but eventually they're going to fall back to earth, I think. They've lost 3 in a row. Cardinals are 5 back. Very doable as we sit here on July 7th. Long, long way to go for the Brewers and Cardinals. Not sure about the rest of the division, but don't count out the Reds and Pirates necessarily. I think the Cubs are falling out of this thing completely. The Cardinals have the 3rd wild card, but that's not what they want. They want this division. They're 5 out. They can do that, but they've got to stack some wins together and figure out a way to add at the deadline. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk to Oli Marmol, Cardinals manager, live from Washington, D.C. 10:30, Chris Durkin. 10:45, Ty Keough. 11:15, Lutz Pfannenstiel. 11:25, John Mozeliak, who kindly agreed to join us 5 minutes early so we can squeeze more information out of him in the last 10 minutes of the show. He's always great to join us. He will do that live at Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar. Great to be back with you. I was in Italy, by the way, for just about 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. It was good. Followed some soccer out there, watched Euro 2024 with a bunch of Italian fans. They had a draw and a loss, so I wasn't much help there. But I did eat some great food, drank some wine, hung out with my lovely wife and great kids and another great family, and we had a blast. But it's good to be home, I got to tell you. Good to be covering sports. I followed the Cardinals all the way. I was watching everything. Here we go. It's time. Oli Marmol next.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Audacy app, and never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Audacy app. That's AUDACY.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
Here we are in July. Are you using your outdoor space? If you're not, there's probably a good reason. You didn't call Chesterfield Fence and Deck to really trick out your outdoor space. Imagine having a beautiful deck with a custom screen room that keeps the bugs away, or a custom sunroom that it can even maybe be air conditioned, have a beautiful fan so you're outside but not fully in the elements. Or you can walk down those deck steps onto your beautiful patio that's covered by a pergola, maybe a built-in, pizza oven, barbecue grill, you name it. Let your imagination run wild and work with Chesterfield Fence and Deck to make it a reality. They'll come to you with free in-home estimates, free project design, or stop by and see them in the Chesterfield Valley to get a great idea of what the products look and feel like, or maybe get some great ideas. Chesterfield Fence and Deck will offer you 48 months interest-free financing if you mention me, Debbie Monterey. Find them online right now at chesterfieldfence.com. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jewels on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jewels on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. So if you need some extra cash, looking for that one-of-a-kind piece, make Jewels on Hampton your first stop. Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills.
Thanks for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK. This is Sarah. How can I help?
I've been thinking.
What have you been thinking about?
I decided I should declutter more often because it's an important part of a balanced and healthy life.
Have you ever noticed that 1-800-GOT-JUNK has a question mark at the end of it?
Yes, I have noticed that.
We make junk disappear.
All I have to do is point.
All you have to do is point.
Can you come right now?
We're on our way.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Now the Manager's Chat, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer.
Sports on a Sunday morning. Tom Ackerman back with you. It is always a pleasure to visit with our great friend to the show, the manager of the Cardinals, Oli Marmol. Thank you for joining us from Washington, D.C. on a game day. These are always much appreciated visits. How are you?
I'm doing well. Yeah, about a 2-week break, huh?
I did. I was paying attention to your team, though. I was watching
Yeah,
the
I'm
heart.
sure.
I promise. But yeah, I could not watch games in full because I was in Italy. So if you had, let's say, a 6:45 game, it was at 1:45 a.m. Those are tough, especially if you've had a couple, glasses of wine.
Hey, if you're a diehard, you'd stay up.
I know. But I went back. I would watch highlights. I would read. I would listen to your press conferences. So I was in tune with what was going on and following along daily. And congratulations on a great run. I mean, really. I mean, I think it's been a really good run for you to get yourself back firmly in contention.
No, I couldn't agree more, man. Watching these guys do what they're doing every day has been impressive. It's been fun. You dig yourself a hole as big as we did early on in the season. It takes a lot physically and emotionally as a player to dig yourself out of that and get back on track the way we have. And they're grinding it out, man. We have several more games before that All-Star break, but these guys are, even yesterday's game, Lance goes out there, it doesn't go our way. They score 9. And I can tell you that our dugout was as lively as it's ever been. You would have thought we were up 9, and the way they were competing and just getting after it and still just grinding out at bats. It was gritty, man, and I loved it. Unfortunately, we lost, but those are signs of a team that's competing well, that doesn't care if they're up or down. It's just a matter of this very next pitch, and they're doing a really nice job of that.
It's absolutely nuts that you were one swing of the bat away from making it a 9-8 game after you were down 9-0. I mean, it was right there. I mean, and we know Nolan Gorman. I mean, he can do that. Of course, he's still working through some stuff, but you were that close. And then you mentioned the bullpen. I mean, the bullpen coming through for you, it was a big deal, wasn't it? I mean, Giovanni Gallegos goes 3 innings, Oli, to close that out.
And let's talk about that, because this is a guy that, I mean, man, he's pitched a lot, and he's pitched some meaningful innings for us over the last several years, and he's gone through a stretch where it hasn't look the same. He on the IL that came back, and hopefully look better. But what he did yesterday was extremely. You look at the state of our bullpen, man, we were super short. We didn't have Helsley, JoJo, Kittredge. I mean, I those guys yesterday, and for him to go back out there for the third inning, which is something we haven't asked him to do probably since 2017, or he hasn't done that, kept Fernandez or King from coming in that game, and whichever one of those two would have thrown yesterday would have been down today, just based on their usage. So that was an important part of that game for sure.
Gio is my daughter's favorite pitcher, so she was pretty happy to see him, powering through there. And the outing for Lance Lynn, I mean, do I have this right? From what I can see, is they just pounced. I mean, they knew he's going to throw early fastballs, and they just went out.
Yeah, and then some 2-strike pitches that didn't go his way, and kind of some arm side with that fastball, and couldn't get it where he wanted to at times. But yeah, yesterday they took his point, they beat him. This is the guy that is going to hold himself accountable more than anybody. So you just move on. It was a bad day. We just go on to the next.
Kyle Gibson pitching today. How's he look to you?
Good. He's been so consistent, man. I know he had lower back kind of pushed the start, and then he was a little out of sync his first time out after that. But this has been very consistent and giving us 6 innings every time, just allowing us to line up the bullpen the way needed. But yes, he's done an incredible job for us.
You'll be taking on the Nationals today at 12:35. We'll have a pregame at 11:40. Oli, this team right now with a lineup, and I love talking about lineups with you, and I looked at it. It seems like you've had some pretty consistent lineup with Contreras in there at the 3 spot, but Wynn and Burleson have been 1-2 for a while now. Goldie and Arenado 4-5. Can you just go through what you like about that consistent lineup, why you do it the way you do it?
Yeah, Wynn's done a really nice job of just competing in that, not stop at bat take, doesn't matter, right? It's just going to give you a very competitive at bat. Burleson has been extremely consistent, and just my fails, man. You have to face those 2 guys for 2 very gritty at bats to start a game. Now having Contreras back allows him to hit in that 3 spot. Goldie after that when not as lefty, and it's been fairly consistent with lining those guys up as soon as you get a feel for how they're feeling. If a guy needs to offer anything like that, but for the most part, we've been trying to run the same lineup out there and give them consistency of where they're playing defensively and offensively, where they're hitting the lineups. Just trusting our guys to do their job.
When it comes to Goldie and Arenado, I know they get a lot of attention for not having their normal numbers, but this season isn't over yet. So, I mean, how do you evaluate that? You got 2 superstars there back to back.
Goldie and Arenado at some point this year will carry the squad offensively. And when they do, it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
Well, that's a quote that I'll tuck away. And when they when they start to turn on, we'll put that back. We'll replay that back. The Nationals have an interesting looking team, no doubt. And you're going to play another game against them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Your team, when it comes to this, I mean, these tight games are fun for the viewer, I guess. They're entertaining, but man, it's got to be stress. I mean, I know that you'd love to just smoke somebody, blow somebody out here once in a while, but how do you see this now? I've not seen a Cardinals team like this, where you've played one-run games this many times and extra inning games for that matter.
No, I've never seen anything like it. It's I'll tell you what, it is fun because there's a lot that goes in, and the guys it's becoming the norm of playing these tight games. Can you hold a one-run lead after the fourth inning? Like it's just we've been able to do that often, and it simulates kind of playoff baseball, man. The intensity of it, where one pitch can change everything, one at bat can change everything, and I love being in those environments. Don't get me wrong. I love to beat somebody's brains in a couple times a week just to give our bullpen a break. That's been the key to this thing, is we're going to have to open up some games to allow the backing of our bullpen to have a little bit of a breather and not have to throw every day to every other day in order for them to continue to stay fresh and effective throughout the back end of the season. So it is important for us to be able to do that here in this next stretch. But if not, we keep playing some tight ones and hopefully continue to win them.
You have had a very good run for this bullpen. I mean, just absolutely tremendous. And now Ryan Helsley, who has put together a spectacular year, no doubt is going to be an all-star. We're going to hear that announcement here tonight, right? Yeah, tonight is the all-star announcement. Are you have you been publicly advocating for anybody behind the scenes advocating? Are you pushing names out there that want to be? How much does that mean to you?
No, obviously you want certain guys that have done an incredible job of helping this club win, get that experience. Helsley has done an incredible job. He's got plenty of great, done a really nice job. The back end of our board has been really, really steady and good. So we'll see what happens tonight. But, hopefully, some of those guys.
What about health-wise? I'm going to also have John Mozeliak on next hour, about an hour from now, so he'll give us an update as well. But tell me, the one I'm really interested in is Lars Nootbaar. I'm interested in all of them, but I know Nootbaar has an interesting kind of situation here where there's a couple days off at Double-A, right?
Yeah, so, I'm actually jumping on a call with him here shortly. He played last night, came out of it feeling good. I'll stay there today and tomorrow. So I'll get a better sense of how he's feeling and what else he needs in order to feel like he's ready to compete, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I appreciate the updates. Thank you for your 10 minutes. It's always great to have you on KMOX. Good to talk to you again, and good luck today against the Nationals. We'll catch up with you real soon.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Manager of the Cardinals, Oli Marmol, with us. Busy man as the Cardinals get ready to play a game in 2 hours, taking on the Nats in Washington, D.C. Then they will play one more tomorrow. So this is a 4-game series, a Friday to Monday series. It's a day game tomorrow, by the way. So plan your Monday accordingly. Don't skip out on a 3:05 game for the Cardinals and the Nationals. We'll have the pregame at 2:10. So if you can sneak out of the office or something and give your Cardinals a listen, that would probably be a good idea. Then the Cardinals go home. They will be here taking on the Royals for 2. Then a day off on Thursday before they play the Cubs at Busch Stadium Friday, Saturday, and Sunday going into the All-Star break. The All-Star game is in Arlington, Texas this year, the home of the world champion Texas Rangers. And the Cardinals most likely are going to have Ryan Helsley. And I'm not really sure outside of that who they'll get, but Helsley is a heck of a representative. And if you talk about why the Cardinals are where they are, he's the headliner. The bullpen has been tremendous, and he is the biggest name in that bullpen with 31 saves, just a streak of 31 saves, which is just insane for the Cardinals closer. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from the shipping into soccer, we'll hear from Chris Durkin, who I have really been impressed with, a defensive midfielder for the city team, a conversation with Jen Santiago Beltran. We're also going to hear from Keough, a St. Louis soccer legend who has been around the game for a long, long time. His thoughts not only on City, but on Copa America, on a lot of things happening around the world of soccer. And then at 11:15, more soccer discussion with Lutz Pfannenstiel, the sporting director for St. Louis City SC. My first opportunity to chat with him since I came back from Europe. And I will talk to him about the move in dismissing Bradley Carnell, promoting John Hackworth, and what he thinks about this team. And they made a move, by the way. Jordan Reed has joined them officially via contract from City too. So all of that is on the way. And then at 11:25, again, John Mozeliak will join us live just before we turn things over to Cardinal Baseball. It's great to be back in Studio B, the Stifel Financial Sports Studio. Back after this.
Scott, I have a new word, flooring. What are you saying, flooring or finance? Actually, both, because at Best Buy Flooring, we have the largest selection of carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, ceramic tile, laminate, and hardwood. Yes, and free financing for qualified buyers. 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week, including in South County. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
KMOX weekend after service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service, Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. You find a professional on Angie to make the backyard best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repair to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. California Psychic can give you the guidance you need to find the one. Guarantee. If your reading isn't life-changing, new customers save 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I'm Dave Weber, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Neely Royer, and Samuel Barry. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming and stressful, especially with challenges like record inflation, rising interest rates, potential recessions, and the uncertain future of Social Security. These factors can significantly impact your life savings. So, what steps are you taking to help preserve your financial future? Join the All Financial Group at their office Thursday, July 18th for an informative presentation. Their goal? To help you gain valuable tools, insights, and proven strategies to make informed decisions about your retirement planning.
Now, I've got a list of roadblocks that I have people ask me about on a regular basis. Inflation, taxes, what's going on with the election.
Seats are limited, so registration is required. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com to secure your spot. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, registered investment advisor.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Alex, how did the interview go? I did. Good job. I can't believe it. I knew it. Let's meet up later.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place in the Filipino project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning. That's swings. It's a drive. He has slammed. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Silicon win! Silicon win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Jennifer Cease, Santiago Beltran, here with Chris Durkin, St. Louis City midfielder, defender. You do it all.
Yeah, I pride myself on being flexible and doing whatever I can for the team. So I hadn't played at center back in a while, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Coach Hackworth at the press conference afterwards, it just reminds me how big soccer is, actually how small it is. He knew you could do the job because he coached you, U17. Somehow there's always a soccer connection.
Yeah, it seems like there's a big spider web around Hack's circle. He knows everybody somehow. He's a great guy, and luckily to have known him for so long. So it was great to have him step in.
I know that you have been around this year with his role with the team, but now united with him as a coach. Is it good for you to have, as a new coach, somebody that you know so well?
Yeah, I heard other guys talking after the game. If anybody was a step in for the job, he was the right man. Everybody was very familiar with him on the team. Some guys very close with him. So I think he was a good man for the job. Just being familiar with the situation, being in the organization, not having to change too much for the San Jose game, I think was important.
You and I talked back in February when you had just come to the club and we were talking about your role as a holding midfielder. And there was a comment you made that stuck out to me. And you said, if I'm doing my job, you're really not know. Is that still how you feel about it wherever you're on the pitch?
Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit, putting out fires around the midfield, just being reliable. As a 6, you have a lot of different attributes that can help at coming back to center back or maybe going forward a little bit. And, with our team, it's an aggressive style of play. And, I always enjoy just being amongst the tackles and bringing energy, which, it's not hard when we have energy within the crowd. So I've really enjoyed my role within the team. The guys are continually pushing me and, I want to keep pushing the guys. So it's a good mutual benefit.
So Wednesday, the team broke that winless streak. What has been the mindset the last few weeks with that, let's say, like monkey on your back that you have to win a game?
Yeah, it's been tough. Going through any slump is difficult. In our profession, we felt the pressure, which is good. And, we were working really hard to change things. And, we weren't very far off. We were creating a lot of opportunities. Even in the San Jose game, created a ton of opportunities, only put 2 away. So as long as we can keep finding those positions, keep finding good goal scoring chances, I think we're always in a game, always get the 3 points. And now it's just about those critical moments. Hack talked about a little bit, making that block, making that last ditch tackle. Those were maybe missing at times. We found those in the San Jose game and we want to continue those forward.
You're a homegrown player yourself. You've worked your way up through a system. What do you think of the City 2 guys working their way up, whether they've appeared or they've signed new contracts like Johnny Klein, Michael Wenzel? What do you think about their performance and any words of advice you've ever had to share with new players coming up?
Yeah, I'm really excited for them. I spoke about it a little before. It's good to have their energy come in, the mentality of wanting to prove yourself. That's the mentality that we need to take, all of us players, whether you're veterans, seasoned pro, everybody has to be able to prove themselves on the field right now in this moment. We'll have to work hard together to get out of it because you can find these routines and get into the slump where it just feels like you're going to keep losing. It's up to the group to get out of that. It requires a lot of focus and attention. The young guys have come up and done great, taking their chances well. Kleiny, Jay's done really well. Wenzel stepped in and done really well. So really happy for those guys. And, with hard work and keeping your head down within our system, anything is possible.
So now going to Colorado on Sunday, an opponent that was here at City Park a couple of weeks ago, got the 3 points, a game that had a few mistakes by you guys that resulted on goals. And a lot of things happened in that game. What's the mindset now going back to Colorado just a couple of weeks after playing them?
It was, looking back on it, a frustrating game and talking about the mistakes and the easy goals, especially at City Park, you never want to feel like you're just giving up easy goals because it's so hard to score in our sport. So, yeah, I think going to Colorado with altitude, we're going to need to manage that, be smart. But, we're all excited. I think it's great to have, a lot of games all at once. Everybody's dealing with that tiredness, tired legs. Colorado just played yesterday. So I'm really looking forward to it. I know the guys are, hopefully to continue to carry the momentum from last game, keep preaching those critical moments, staying focused for 90 plus minutes. And yeah, I think it's possible to get 3 points in Colorado, 100%. We have the quality always on the field.
KMOX Soccer Showcase. You were in Arnold at the Hot Shots there. Did you enjoy connecting with the fans? And I learned in there, your wife's a soccer player. Not only your fan, but she can analyze your game.
Well, the event was awesome just to have City fans come out and talk to them, answer questions, sign autographs. The support since I've been here, I've said numerous times, it's been incredible. So really lucky to be a part of this fan base. And just, my wife being a soccer player, she's a critic, but she's also a big, good supporter. So we've trained a lot of times together to help each other out, which has been cool. But normally in the household, we stay away from soccer because so much soccer in our life.
You're both too competitive.
Too competitive, yeah.
Who does she play for, by the way?
She played in Germany at a team in Duisburg, right near Dusseldorf, a Bundesliga team. So she played there. She's figuring it all out now. She's a winger, so she's got the creative side. So I try and learn a little bit from her too.
Wow, Durkin's wife plays Bundesliga. How about that? That's pretty cool. Thanks to Jen Cease and Santiago Beltran for a great interview. Durkin is fast becoming my favorite player on this team. I love the way he plays aggressively, plays physically, and he's very talented enough that he can play midfield, play center back. He can do it. So that's good. We'll see what happens tonight. I think it should be fun tonight. City visits Colorado, big challenge for them. And if you can go in there and steal a win, that's a great thing for this club and interim coach John Hackworth. If they can win back-to-back games, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from beating San Jose, but San Jose is not all that good. And they got the job done as they should have. Now they play this Colorado team that embarrassed them, quite honestly, 3-0 at City Park a few weeks ago. Jaden Reed has been officially signed with City from City 2. He is a defender, a first-team contract through the end of this season, club options in 25 and 26. He's made a couple of starts, first-team starts for the senior team this season as a City 2 player. Made his debut June 22nd against Atlanta United, started and played the full 90. Made his second MLS start against San Jose and played the full 90. He's a former member of the Red Bulls Academy and was signed as the 29th Red Bulls homegrown on December 21st, 2022. Joined City 2, started 13 matches, tallied 2 assists as a left back. So Jaden Reed, who John Hackworth in his last press conference actually said he told Lutz that he wanted to sign him. Then he looked over and said, "Am I supposed to say that?" He goes, anyway, he was explaining how he's both technical director and coach at the same time, and kind of spilled the beans a little bit. But anyway, they signed Reed. They got him, and we'll see how they go tonight at 8:30 on Y98 FM. Also, what's happening in soccer right now is that England is going to play the Netherlands and France is going to play Spain, and Spain's going to win the Euro 2024. But there could be a block in front of them if possible. But that's kind of where they are, in my opinion. And no, I'm not an expert, but I have watched more Euro than I ever have, having been in Italy. I watched both their last matches, the 1-1 draw against Croatia, which they scored in the final moments, and then a very disappointing shutout loss to Switzerland. Switzerland lost yesterday to England in a penalty shootout. England wins that 5-3 after a 1-1 draw in extra time. They advanced the semifinals of the Euro 2024. England converted all of its first 4 penalties before Trent Alexander-Arnold won the game with the 5th. England lost the 2020 final to Italy in a penalty shootout, so they're trying to get back to the final and win it this time. They will play the Netherlands. Netherlands beat Turkey, and so this next one will be in Dortmund. It'll be Wednesday for a spot in the final against either Spain or France. To me, Spain or Germany were the 2 teams. Whoever was going to come out of that was going to win it all, and I think Spain will win it all, but maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know. Uruguay advanced to the Copa America semifinals with a 4-2 victory over Brazil on penalty kicks after the teams played to a scoreless draw. The teams combined for a tournament-high 41 fouls and just 4 shots on goal during a bruising, choppy match with little of the impressive soccer for which both South American powerhouses are known, but they do come away with a 4-2 victory. Uruguay does over Brazil. More soccer discussion, that and more with Ty Keough next.
You see what's happening in Congress. Everyone's a showman. Big talk, same old politics. Democrat Wesley Bell is running for Congress to get things done for us. For Wesley Bell, it's about solving problems, not making them worse. It's about doing things, not pointing fingers. It's about taking a stand to deliver change, not just yelling about it. For Wesley Bell, that means working with President Biden to deliver for St. Louis. Bell will take on the big drug companies and insurance companies to lower costs for families. He'll protect voting rights from the right wing trying to take away our voice and vote. And Bell will bring his prosecutor smarts to Washington to effectively fight for gun laws to protect our kids and our communities from violence. In Congress, Wesley Bell will do what he's always done. Stand with us, fight for us, deliver for us. United Democracy Project paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.udp.us.
Saturdays are made for soccer. Presented by Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Catch St. Louis City Soccer anywhere you go on the Audacy app. Or grab your friends and catch the game at any City on Tap location, bringing City SC fans and beer together.
Hi, my name is Indiana Voslev from St. Louis City, and Saturdays are made for soccer.
Brought to you by Together Credit Union, the exclusive banking partner of City SC.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are focusing on mental health. Joining me is Dr. Jessica Vanderland, psychologist with Siteman.
Anxiety, depression, PTSD, general distress, insomnia, a lot of fatigue related to cancer, and sometimes body image concerns. All of these are more frequently experienced in a cancer population than in the general population.
Special thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, go to siteman.wustl.edu.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. You know, when you go to the Audiology Center, you'll see a doctor of audiology. And with us right now, Dr. Colleen Bosler. Dr. Bosler, what are some of the signs of hearing loss?
Well, it's a number of things. Sometimes loved ones notice a person asking others to repeat themselves, or the television is too loud. What people tend to notice first with hearing loss is the loss of clarity. They can hear people talking, but they cannot always understand what's being said. That's because the hearing loss can cause you to miss certain consonant sounds, and those consonant sounds give us the detail to the word. A hearing aid can help bring back those details and give you a sense of clarity that you're missing.
Dr. Colleen Bosler at the Audiology Center with 3 locations in the greater St. Louis area. Call for an appointment, 636-441-7470, online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Jeff says, Ack, you got to come back to Evansville, have some Leroy's Pizza. I will absolutely do that, Jeff. Leroy's Tavern in Evansville is the spot. In fact, I am going to send something KMOX to them. And I think they know that. I think the word has gotten to them. But they are if you live in Evansville, go to Leroy's Tavern. They have an entire wall of Cardinals memorabilia. They also have a number of other teams, and it's a great sports bar. It's like one of those old school sports bars that you remember where you walk in, you get a beer. I got myself a Busch Light, and they were like $1 long necks. I mean, it was like awesome. I hit happy hour. I hit an absolute home run. They bring out this pizza, sausage and mushroom. It was awesome, right out of the oven. And the whole thing was like, very easy and fun with a couple of buddies and just enjoying time while I was calling college baseball in Evansville last month. So, or when was that? That was late May. Boy, time flies. But it was a blast. Absolutely love it. Evansville's a great sports town. They get it around there. Really good sports town. And, of course, they love the Cardinals. And it's very close to here. Takes you under 3 hours to get to the Ville. and they love to come to Busch Stadium. We love having them. So, Jeff, I'm going to send you something. I don't know what it is yet, but we're going to send something to put on the wall at Leroy's that is KMOX. So I haven't figured that out yet, but something's going up so we can put our flag in the ground there. That's a great sports bar, and we appreciate your listenership. No doubt about it. Back to soccer for a moment. So this is, I think, a really neat thing here. The fact that we have a relationship with Ty Keough and Bill McDermott. I mean, two of the great soccer minds, and there are so many in this city, but I've always loved listening to two of them in their broadcast duties. And for Ty Keough, we had a chance, Jen Cease did, of our staff, to sit down with Ty and visit with him about all things soccer. Take a listen.
Joined now by St. Louis's own Ty Keough, former pro soccer player, now broadcaster. As always, Ty, so many things going on in the world of soccer.
Jen, it's been a busy summer, but it's been a lot of fun. I mean, there's been some tremendous matches and intense competitions between Copa America, the Euros, and Major League Soccer going right through that, and our city team making some big changes.
John Hackworth at the helm. You've been in the business long enough, probably been through coaching changes yourself. What does that feel like from a team, from a coach perspective?
Well, for sure, I played during 3 coaching changes professionally that I can recall off the top of my head that occurred during the season. That's an important qualifier, but in each case, we won with the first game with the new coach. It's human nature. You want to prove yourself to the new guy. You want to prove that you belong in the starting team. You want to prove that you deserve minutes, and it just gives a little extra edge to the team. And you could see that somewhat on Wednesday night in that win against San Jose. I think it's a team we would have beat regardless of any coaching change, to tell you the truth. They're having a really tough season in San Jose, and our guys came out despite, missing through injury 6, 7, 8 guys, and Hebert is gone with the Canadian national team in the Copa America. So it is a real challenge to put out a really strong competitive lineup with that many guys missing.
Well, speaking of Copa America, the U.S. men's national team have exited that competition. The Summer Olympics around the corner. The U.S. women's national team have made some notable changes to the roster.
Well, when you get into Olympic competition, it's a world looking at it, basically. And soccer's a big sport worldwide, whether it be men or women. And there's higher expectations for the U.S. women. We've come to expect them to win medals and gold medals. For the U.S. men's Olympic team, it's been a tougher challenge. Sometimes they haven't even qualified for the Olympic competition. But this is a good stepping stone, I think, for the U.S. men, in that you get into the Olympics, you get a sense for the international game and the amount of attention that the international competition like the Olympics brings to the sport and to how well the U.S. soccer team can compete, the men's team, because what you hope for is these younger players. It's mostly an under 23 competition at the Olympics for the men. You want to see these guys use that experience to build a sort of base in that they could then some of those players start to contribute to the full men's national team. So I'd like to see the U.S. men get out of their group, get into the knockout stages, and compete for a medal, because it gets tough once you get out of your group if you're able to.
And closer to home, the Bronze Boot will be on September 8th. The women's match at 3:30. The men's match starts at 6:30. Second ever Bronze Boot at City Park. Historic rivalry with SIUE and the SLU men's soccer team. What do you think about that coming up again, Ty? Impressions on last year, and how exciting is that for college players to get to play at that venue again?
It's super exciting in that there's so much history to this rivalry. And if you want to call it a classical or a derby, you can too, because Herman Stadium for St. Louis University and Ralph Cordy Stadium for SIU Edwardsville, they're like 20 miles apart. And back in the day when this rivalry first started, the Bronze Boot, which would be played sometimes at Busch Stadium on the artificial surface back in the day, in those days, the rosters of both teams were almost entirely St. Louis players. So you're talking about a really intense competition in terms of bragging rights for local college soccer. It's something I enjoy because I know the history of it. I played in 4 Bronze Boot matches, and to get to play in a venue that's a professional soccer venue just adds something to the whole atmosphere. And last year, the SIU Edwardsville Cougars beat St. Louis University. On the men's side, there's a little revenge factor, I think, for the Billikens.
I know there's already a history of that, but having the first event at City Park, whether you're on the victor side or on the loser side, there's a little bit of retribution or making sure you stamp your win on that again on the men's side, and then the women's side side, of course, SIUE's Derek Burton, I'm sure, is looking to see if he can defeat Katie Shields.
That's a challenge for them because the St. Louis University women's team is really an elite squad. That would be a tough one for the Cougars. In terms of the men's game, the 4 times I played in the Bronze Boot, we won 2 and we lost 2. It was that tight in terms of the competition. Both programs have won national NCAA Division I championships on the men's side. So St. Louis University has won 15 of those. And then the SIU Edwardsville Cougars have also won Division II and Division I NCAA championships. So these are storied programs. They come on the field with a lot of pride. I have an especially good memory. The last one that I played in, which was in 1978, I scored the only goal of the match. That one sticks in my mind.
The stadiums at the colleges are really nice, but of course, playing in the professional park that is City Park in front of potentially more fans would be not lost on the players. I think all the coaches last year, when we talked to them after the games, talked a little bit about kind of the awe that their players had being able to use the facilities, those locker rooms, and of course, on the pitch in that stadium.
It's a world-class facility. If you're a college player, you're like, this is really someplace you want to step on the field and showcase your talents and see your family up in the stands. Back in the day, in the late 70s, early 80s, the Bronze Boot at Busch Stadium drew over 20,000 a couple times. So there's a history of big turnouts for this rivalry, and I'm pretty excited about it. September 8th.
I'm excited about August 23rd and September 8th, but August 23rd is when my alma mater comes in to play St. Louis University, my broadcast partner. I will be torn only because I bleed crimson and cream in Indiana. That's who it's going to be. Indiana's playing SLU at Herman Stadium on August 23rd. That's going to be a heck of a day. No, I will not be dressed in an IU pullover. I will be a neutral observer, just happy to see those two programs go head to head. Nobody's won more national titles than SLU. SLU has 10 national championships. That is the most in Division I soccer history. However, they have not won one since 1973. Indiana's won 8. My daughter, Audrey, was wearing a St. Louis University t-shirt all throughout Italy. And when we were watching Italy play Switzerland in the round of 16, she was wearing the SLU shirt. And I said, you are educating these fine people over here because you have historically the greatest champion in college soccer history. And she had a big smile about that. So, yeah, SLU soccer made it to Italy, and we let people know around there, all those soccer fans, how good SLU is. SLU in Indiana on August 23rd is going to be awesome. I will be there, and I'm actually interested in the St. Louis's place. Ty just talked about it, but St. Louis's place in soccer history goes well beyond the 1950 World Cup team that defeated England. There's more to it, and the college experience here, St. Louis University and SIUE, is a big part of that. But SLU winning 10 national championships and having multiple Herman Trophy winners, the highest honor in college soccer, the fact that the Herman Trophy is based here in St. Louis, that it is awarded here in St. Louis every year at the Missouri Athletic Club, is a big deal. We are a big part of soccer in this country. We are the hub in many ways of college soccer in this country because we have the biggest trophy, because we have the university that's won the most national championships. And I do think that we can and should celebrate that more, and we will. So am I telling you that the Herman Trophy will be on display at the IU SLU game on August 23rd? I'm telling you that that is possible. And also that I think it's time to ramp up the celebration of that history at St. Louis University. They do a great job of it. I'm talking about us as media, as soccer fans, as St. Louisans. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back after CBS News and the local report, we are going to get you updated on everything sports. We will rip through a sports cast like you wouldn't believe. Then we are going to go straight to Lutz Pfannenstiel of St. Louis City SC. The sporting director will tell us why they dismissed Bradley Carnell and what he sees in the team now. And at 11:25, do not miss, I know you don't, our visit with John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations. He will be with us live as well before we take you to Cardinal baseball at 11:40 on the home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Nobody wants a surprise in their jelly donut. It's toothpaste? That's because the middle is the most important part. At Gray Bar, we're at the middle of electrical and datacom jobs across the country, connecting installers, facility managers, and business owners with smart solutions for their most challenging projects, which means stocking and delivering crucial products on time and on budget with no surprises, thanks to our nationwide logistics network. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
Some people were born with fire under their bum. That's a metaphor for hustle, spunk, good old get up and go. But hustle's hard to find, and when it's hot outside and your inside's losing its cool, it's exactly what you need. Good news. When you call Jerry Kelly because things are going 5-alarm at your place, rest assured you're speaking with a company comprised of folks with fires ablaze beneath their respective behinds, just burning to get you and yours cool again.
JerryKelly.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. We've been building homes since 1898. Our newest community, Duvер Estates, is in Creve Coeur on Mason Road, just north of Ladue Road. We will build to suit from one of our luxurious designer series ranch or story-and-a-half plans, starting in the 800s. Hurry to secure one of the 12 exclusive wooded home site opportunities at this prime location. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today and move up to McKelvey.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
KMOX, KEZK HD2 St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis. Always live on the free Audacy app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Monica Ricks. Democrats are wrestling with whether President Biden should continue as their party's choice in November. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders weighed in on Face the Nation today and says despite Biden's age and his debate performance, he's still the clear choice over Donald Trump.
What we have got to focus on is policy. Whose policies have and will benefit the vast majority of the people in this country.
Trump still has a vacancy to fill on the Republican ticket. Florida Senator Marco Rubio on CNN.
You and Donald Trump are both residents of Florida. If you're chosen to be his running mate, are you willing to move to another state or resign your Senate seat?
That's presumptuous. I don't know. I have no idea who he's going to pick. And those, like I said, we'll confront those issues when they come.
The RNC is just a week away now in Milwaukee. Trump's classified documents case has been delayed again. Here's CBS's Natalie Brand.
The federal judge overseeing that case partially granted Trump's request, saying that she wants a briefing on the matter before deciding further. But this will postpone some of the deadlines in that case, and it stems from the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity, highlighting the impact of that decision on the former president's criminal cases.
Folks in Texas are now stocking up on hurricane supplies.
We're just here to buy water and pasta.
That woman in Houston, but warnings are in effect now all over the coastline where barrels set to make landfall tomorrow. Intense heat's also an issue nationwide.
These people are trying to beat the heat in Hickory, North Carolina.
I brought the fans to be cool. They're self-charged. If they go down, I got spare batteries. I'm going to be cool all night long. How about that?
Water, lots of water.
Death Valley, California could top 125 degrees today and tomorrow. Las Vegas could exceed its all-time temperature today or tomorrow. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Still a couple hours left to vote in France.
Voter turnout is high for this crucial second round of elections. The far right is still expected to top the polls, but looks unlikely to get enough seats to form a government. If there is a hung parliament, it may be days, even weeks, before France has a new government.
That's CBS's Elaine Cobb reporting. Israeli protesters are blocking highways in Tel Aviv, calling for the prime minister's resignation and a ceasefire with Hamas.
I'm here to support families of kidnapped Israelis in Gaza. I'm here to oppose my government and to bring this war to an end, hopefully, to bring elections and to bring this criminal government down.
Both sides are still working on a ceasefire deal as fighting continues in Gaza. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have sunny skies, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Keough. Our top story this hour, St. Louis police have arrested 3 teenagers for waving weapons near the corner of 8th and Chestnut.
That's close to the scene of another shooting after the downtown fireworks late Thursday. But it's not clear if the teens are connected to that incident. Police say several calls came in around 4:30 a.m. Saturday that the suspects were also reportedly blocking traffic. 2 of the suspects, a 19-year-old man from Florissant and an 18-year-old man from Belleville, were taken into police custody. A 17-year-old juvenile was released to his mother. None of their names have been released. The 2 older teens, police say, had real firearms, and the 17-year-old had an airsoft gun. Julie Carpenter, KMOX News.
A person who was struck by a train in Kirkwood is in serious condition. Police say it happened late Friday night at the intersection of Big Bend and Geyer. The conductor told investigators the person was lying on the ground next to the track when the westbound train struck them about 100 feet from the intersection. Police say they don't know yet why the person was next to the tracks, and they have not released the person's gender or age. A lot of road work beginning tomorrow on the Illinois side of the river.
From 7 a.m. Monday through mid-September, 111 is going to be closed. This is a big one. 111 closed between New Pogue Road and East Hawthorne Madison, so just be prepared for that. Also at 7 a.m., 161 west of Albers through September will be closed between Tank and Tolley Roads, and the railroad crossing repair on 161 starts at 6 a.m. Monday through 9 p.m. Tuesday. That's a mile east of Albers. I'm Roger Brand, KMOX News.
The National Weather Service has extended a flood warning until Wednesday morning for the Mississippi. That's for overflow at St. Louis as well as near Herculaneum. The warning also continues for the Mississippi at Alton, Grafton, Mel Price Dam, and for Chester. This afternoon, pretty warm, 92 for a high. Overnight, about 73, maybe a passing shower. We're going to be in the 80s for the rest of this week. 88 on Monday, Tuesday, 82. Showers and storms are possible both of those days, and actually Wednesday and Thursday as well. Right now, it is 84 in St. Peter's. We have 85 in Florissant and 84 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Keough, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Goldie and Nato at some point this year will carry this club offensively. And when they do, it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
That is Oli Marmol talking about Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. He says they will carry this club offensively at some point. 2 MVP candidates, 1 former MVP in Goldschmidt with the Cardinals in 2022 has really struggled. Arenado has been much better recently with 4 hits on Friday in that crazy game against the Nationals. As Arenado goes, so do the Cardinals a lot of times. With Goldschmidt, we have seen him carry this team on his shoulders. Arenado's hitting .268 on the season. He had 2 more hits yesterday, 2 for 4. Goldschmidt 0 for 4 with a strikeout yesterday. He's down to 226 on the season, does have 11 home runs. Arenado has only 7 on the year, 7 home runs, 35 RBIs, hitting 268 on the season. With more on the Cardinals, let's turn things over to our broadcasters.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney in Washington, D.C., and it was a long day's journey into night yesterday at Nationals Park. The Nationals shot out to a 9-0 lead after 2 on their way to a 14-6 win.
Really rough start for Lance Lynn. He gave up more than 10 runs, actually 10 earned runs, and then gave way to Matthew Liberatore, then Giovanni Gallegos. Cardinals really only had those 3 to pitch the game. The Nationals starter, Mackenzie Gore, wasn't very good either and didn't get out of the 4th inning, but the Nationals were able to prevail. They swung the bat very well, 15 hits in the game.
The Cardinals had some comeback in them with a 4-run 3rd inning, yet it was a strikeout with the bases loaded for Gorman, who had a good day, a 3 for 5 day.
And then the Cardinals just couldn't hold down the Nationals. Big day for James Wood, a 5 RBI game for the rookie.
Including his first Major League homer. Kyle Gibson against DJ Hurst today on the air at 11:40. 12:25, Ricky will go over the lineups, and I'll bring you the first pitch at 12:35 Central.
Gentlemen, thank you. John Mozeliak will be with us at 11:25 to talk more Cardinals here on Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. We'll do some scoreboard watching as well this afternoon as the Brewers visit the Dodgers at 3:10. The Brewers have lost 3 straight games, and the Cardinals have gained a little bit of ground. They are 5 games out in the Central. Missed an opportunity yesterday, but the loss doesn't hurt them too bad. 5 games out in the Central. They're actually 4 games clear of the rest of the field in the division. The Pirates are 9 back, Reds 9.5 back, and the Cubs have really fallen off. They're 11 back and 8 games under 500 at 41 and 49. The Cardinals are 46 and 42. 4 games over 500, and again, 5 out in the division. As for the wild card, the Cardinals currently own the 3rd wild card spot. They're a half game behind the Padres, and the Braves are 2.5 clear of the Padres as the number 1 wild card. The Cardinals are 2.5 games in front of the Diamondbacks and Mets for that 3rd wild card spot. So they have some comfort there. But they're going after the division. I mean, the wild card's not what they want. You don't want to do a wild card situation, have to go to somebody's house. The top 2 division winners in each league get buys to the division series, and then the other 4 teams in each league play a best of 3 in the wild card round with the higher seed hosting all 3 games. So you don't want that. You want to win the division, and the Cardinals will be hosting wild card games if that's the case, because the other 2 division winners, I'm assuming, are going to be the Dodgers and the Phillies. They are the top 2 teams in the National League right now. The Phillies are the number 1 team, the Dodgers number 2, and I don't really see anybody catching those 2. They'll get the buys, and then we'll see who ends up winning this NL Central as the 3rd division. It would be a big deal, as the wild card teams would be then, if the Cardinals could win the division, wild card teams you would assume would be the Braves, the Padres, and the Brewers. So we'll see. But a long way to go until then. You're 5 out in the division. If you're going to catch them, you got to hope the Brewers can fall back to earth, and most recently they have. They have lost 3 in a row. Big day of racing. Lewis Hamilton held off Max Verstappen's late charge to win a thrilling British Grand Prix, securing his first victory since the penultimate race of the 2021 season. Hamilton became the first F1 driver to win on any track 9 times and also extended his F1 record to 104 wins. As for IndyCar, they will get going here in about an hour. They'll be riding in the Honda Indy 200. That is a road course race in Mid-Ohio. And NASCAR will get a lot of attention this afternoon for its road race in Chicago. That was a huge success last year. They're all lined up, set up, all the avenues and streets in Chicago for NASCAR to come roaring through there. That'll be a little bit later today. And there's a lot at stake as these drivers are trying to qualify for the playoffs. As for soccer, we're going to be joined by Lutz Pfannenstiel, sporting director for St. Louis City SC. In just about 4 minutes, he will join us on KMOX. His team is playing tonight against the Colorado Rapids, 8:30 start on Y98 FM. We'll talk to Lutz about it next. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Hi, this is Margaret from Eamon, Gantner, and Capriano. Recently, a dear friend shared the difficult news of her husband's terminal diagnosis. Wow, a medical test changes everything. Despite the news, they have time to review and adjust their estate plans, their legacy, so their final wishes are handled. I didn't have time. My late husband's fatal car accident changed everything instantly. Do you have an estate plan? Eamon Gantner and Capriano can guide you and plan for your loved ones. Check on their free webinar, where you will learn legal strategies of wills and trusts on the web at yourestatematters.com. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, your St. Louis estate planning attorneys, online at yourestatematters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertisement.
Start the new year off right with your best vision for 2024. This is Megan Lynch for Ophthalmology Associates. Now's the time to schedule your annual eye exam. It's what I'm doing for my entire family. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry. Call for an appointment today, 314-966-5000, or you can get more information at youridoc.com. One of the conditions they can test and treat is dry eye. When the furnace is running, you're at greater risk for dry eye disease. The doctors of Ophthalmology Associates can prescribe the perfect eye drops to prevent and treat dry eye. Ophthalmology Associates is located at 12990 Manchester Road, a half mile west of I-270 on eastbound Manchester Road. Call Ophthalmology Associates 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
We are heading into the make it or break it season for your air conditioning system. Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling is a Lennox dealer, which is an outstanding brand, and Comfort Solutions has been in business for 30 years. And as I mentioned, a Lennox dealer, so they can install a brand new Lennox system with no interest for 5 years on that new Lennox air conditioner, plus a 10-year parts and condenser warranty. 24-hour service nights and weekends, 314-968-9900, 968-9900, or online at comfortsolutionsstl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Max Shows presents the St. Charles Gun Show. Shop hundreds of tables with thousands of guns, knives, military surplus, tactical gear, and more. You gotta go to the Gun Show, June 12th through 14th at the St. Charles Convention Center. Visit maxshows.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
It's 11:15, and it is time to visit with Lutz Van Steel, Sporting Director, St. Louis City SC. Tom Ackerman with you. Always great to catch up with you. Good to talk to you again, Lutz.
Good morning. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing great. Spent a little time in Italy and got to watch Euro 2024 with the Italians. Unfortunately for them, they got knocked out by Switzerland, but it was a great experience. I really enjoyed watching soccer in Europe, which you, of course, have done for much of your life. I loved that very much. It was really great. I also learned while I was vacationing within minutes of the announcement of the dismissal of Bradley Carnell. And I have to admit that my first feeling was of sadness because, as you know, I get to visit with him every week and I like him as a personality. And then seconds later, I thought, boy, that's really something that City has probably been watching this for a while and decided that it is time that we make a shift. Can you take us through your feelings when it came to the dismissal of Bradley Carnell? I know you've spoken about this in a press conference, but um, some of the things that were tugging at you and why the move was made.
I think same feeling what you had. It's definitely always a very difficult moment, a difficult decision to let the head coach go, especially with the circumstances. Bradley being the first ever head coach for our franchise, having a great season last year. But then, in the end of the day, it's professional sports. You have to look at the numbers. You have to look at the trend as well. And we simply thought that it was the right moment because we have goals, and the goal is clearly that we still want to make the playoffs, but also looking forward into 25 and 26 when it comes to roster decisions and the general plan. But on the short term now, we didn't get the results. We had, unfortunately, lots of results which could have gone either way, and we didn't get the points we needed. So it was the moment to make that call. And yeah, I agree with you. It was maybe surprising for some people, but looking at the trend and looking at the results, I think it was a move we had to make.
You did, and you promoted John Hackworth to interim coach, and certainly he's a coach. I mean, he's been around this game for a long time, hasn't he? And not only does he coach, but he handles a lot of other things for you. I'm sure this is a trust in John Hackworth that he can turn the corner for you.
Yeah, it was an easy decision. I don't believe that bringing a coach from overseas or another coach who doesn't know the team at all or who doesn't know the club at all would have really helped us that much. John is here since more than 3 years. He was working always very closely with me, already starting with the academy, going into City 2, where it is a fantastic job as well. He worked with most of the players who actually are here right now. There's a good relationship. And I really have lots of trust and belief that John is the right person, that John will help us to get back on track. And, we had a good start with John as well, beating San Jose in midweek, which definitely gives us a positive feeling also coming into the game today.
No doubt. You're taking on the Colorado Rapids tonight, 8:30 on Y98 FM. Certainly, there are a lot of variables and changes that happen as you make a coaching change. And one of those that grabbed a lot of attention was Sam Adeniran. Sam is a talented player. He has scored some big goals for you. Tell us about his return to the lineup and how you see his development here in the final 13 games of the season.
Yeah, Sam was always an important member. It's a player who is now again for selection. We know what he can do, what he's capable of. Yeah, unfortunately, didn't play as many games in recent weeks, so it also comes to the fitness part or the match fitness part. But he got really important minutes against San Jose in midweek, and also today. I'm pretty sure he will feature at some stage. So we know of his qualities, of his strengths and his speed. He always can turn a game around, and I'm glad that he's back in the selection and hopefully can be a very important player for us tonight.
Lutz Vandensteel is with us. I love talking to him, especially on a game day. Edward Leuven, how is he doing? And is Josh Yaro ready to go for tonight?
Yeah, Josh should be okay. He had a slight concussion, went through the concussion protocol and got cleared. So he's available also for selection. With Edu, yeah, it's something minor. We have to see what exactly we're risking and what we're not risking. But we know how important he is, not just on a game-to-game basis, but in the long run as well. Again, his performance against San Jose was outstanding. And, of course, it's a very important player for us where we have to make intelligent and smart decisions just before kickoff.
And if you wouldn't mind taking us through some of your transactions recently, I noted the acquisition of Marcel Hartl. That is very interesting and exciting to see what he might be able to do. Of course, we've discussed Cedric Teuchert in the past, and it was just announced this morning that you've signed defender Jaden Reed from City 2. Lutz?
Yeah, Jaden somehow really fits very well our profile, our playing style. Having a Red Bull history in the past, being very aggressive, being very quick. I think the games he played with City 2, he put himself great in the shopping window. I watch every City 2 game, so I couldn't really miss that. Also, the 2 games he played now with the first team, he was performing very well. And very simple, he deserved it. He worked hard, he deserved that chance, he grabbed it. And I'm glad that we managed to secure his services for the first team as well. Cedric Volkert is here, started to train with the team. We're very excited. Same as Jake Wood-Reich already arrived in the country, starts training. And then we're just waiting now for the final work visa paperwork with Marcel Hartl, which I think I'm just as excited as you are. You know, that's a player for us which is really important. That's a player which can be the difference maker, a player which was on lots and lots of teams all over the world, higher priority, and we are really, really happy that we could convince him to come to St. Louis and be part of the City family. And that's lots of positive things to look at once the transfer period opens up on July 18th. But in my head right now, we still have 11 days from now till then. And there is a lot of football to be played, and we can't miss out on very valuable points from now till then. So there is a lot of focus on the next few games, and there is difficult games we have to play. So, I mean, that's how the MLS goes. You know, lots of congestion when it comes to termination, and we are ready to do that.
No question. A massive 3 points available tonight as you take on Colorado at 8:30. One of 6 matches in MLS play tonight. And we'll be, of course, having it right here on Y98 FM, our station right down the hallway. Lots of soccer coverage on the show today, and we can't do it without Lutz Fan and Steel. Lutz, thank you so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Great to talk to Lutz again. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, John Mozeliak. Live visit with him at 11:25 on KMOX.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service, Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Hey contractors, it's Andrea and Scott at Best Buy Flooring.
If you haven't been shopping with us, you owe it to your customers and yourself to check out Best Buy Flooring.
We can meet all flooring needs at the lowest prices in town. Check out our huge selection of carpet tiles, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tiles, sheet vinyl, ceramic, hardwood, and laminate.
Come see us at our 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week, including at South County. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together, we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission: to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. You know, Drew, I should have asked Oli last hour if Scals told him a few stories about that 2012 Division Series win. That was just nuts on Friday. How the Cardinals came back from a 5-0 deficit to overtake the Nationals. Joining us is the president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak. Mo, good morning. Great to have you back on KMOX.
Good morning. How are you, Tommy?
I'm doing great. That was a wild win on Friday, wasn't it? We'll get to yesterday in just a minute, but Friday to start out against the Nationals was really something. The determination, the effort, that is up there as win of the year, I would say, so far.
It was definitely exciting. You know, you'll look at this team right now. I feel like, gosh, we're playing a ton of close games, so we're just putting enormous pressure on really the entire roster. So to come out on that on top feels great. I mean, obviously, then you roll into yesterday, and that game, obviously, one of the things we were talking about before that game even began was just, you know, having hopefully Lynn go deep into the game, give some guys a breather in the bullpen. You know, unfortunately, we had to stretch some guys out, so it didn't go as planned. But rarely in this game does it ever go as planned. So you adjust. You hopefully you position yourself for today. we'll see how today goes. If all goes well, no moves will have to be made. But if we put pressure back on that bullpen, then we'll probably have to bring in some refreshing arms.
Boy, isn't that the truth? This game is nuts. Your bullpen did come through in a big way to get you set up for today. What do you see in Lance? You've known him for a long time. I mean, was this just they were sitting on his fastball? Healthy? Is he health-wise doing okay?
Yeah, I think like yesterday just was like not the most optimal conditions for him. Extremely hot, humid. I think he wasn't getting any of those close calls. And so pitch count got up quickly. Obviously, he got hit hard. Even some of the outs were loud. So it just, we can make a ton of excuses, but reality was it wasn't his day. And, hopefully next time out, better results.
Kyle Gibson going today. Certainly he's been great for you. Sonny, you've got your lefty and Steven Matz, who has not been able to come back, but Andre Palante has held down the fort quite well. I mean, the rotation has had some very good moments. How do you view it now, though, on July 7th, looking ahead? How do you see your 5-man rotation right now?
Well, I definitely feel it's the dog days of summer right now, and this is always when you see some dead arm, a little bit like you see in sometimes early in April coming out of camp. And so, everything we can do to sort of get to the All-Star game or All-Star break is, that's what we're going to try to do. And then hopefully on when you think about the end of July or early August, maybe that's where somebody like a Steven Matz can come in and give one of our starters a break, but help you kind of push through. And then obviously you have the trading deadline, which, obviously we're going to be looking to see what we can do to help the club any way we can. The interesting part with our roster right now is, what are we going to look like by the end of July, in the sense of, Newt Barr should be activated, if not tomorrow, very soon. Tommy Edman will probably be right on the other side of the All-Star break. So, from that standpoint, the everyday club's going to change from what it's looked like over the last 3.5 months. And then from a pitching standpoint, guys are soaking up a lot of innings, working very hard. And is there something we can do to maybe, create some flexibility or relief as we get into August and September? So those are sort of internal questions that we're thinking a lot about. And, we're going to definitely explore what some of those options might look like over the, next upcoming 28 days or so.
I appreciate you letting us in on all of that thinking. And certainly there are a lot of teams thinking that way, aren't they, Mo? I mean, we're sitting here on July 7th. There's still time for some teams who feel like they're in the race to evaluate the same things you're trying to evaluate in terms of pitching.
Yeah, I think that everybody's in, somewhat different situations. Like for us, we've never put the club out on the field that we thought we were going to back in, say, December or January. And so we're have a lot of internal optimism that we might finally get to what we thought we were building from back then. But there's also the reality of where we are today in terms of the workload, what individuals have had to do. So, hopefully internally we can get some boost, but, we're also going to have to explore outside and see what that looks like. But you're right. The trade market is going to be tough to stomach, because reality is there's going to be a lot of people trying to buy, less people selling.
Gotcha. So the price obviously goes up and up and up, and everybody's making phone calls and texts and whatnot. You mentioned Newt Barr, you mentioned Edman. The Edman thing is intriguing for sure. And so his wrist seems to be intact and good based on what I'm hearing, because the twisted ankle was just a little blip, and he seems to be on the right track for rehab.
Yeah. Play today, likely in Springfield. Has been working out with that club, so he's been just doing everyday baseball activity. And then, now it's going to be, ramp him up, get him to game speed, which, as much as we'd like to say that's tomorrow, it's not. We have to be patient. You almost have to treat it like he needs a mini spring training. As much as you can replicate some things, the one thing you can't do is sort of game action or live BP. So that's the hard part.
And you told me a few weeks ago, at least, that when it came to Jordan Walker, it's going to be about, he's going to have to show you that he can do this on a regular basis. This is not like, okay, Jordan, you've had a nice week. Let's get you back here. You want to see a nice long sample of him being consistent.
Yeah, it's about performance. We can say whatever we want about the game, and there are times where somebody goes down to get work, and that's something very specific, and then all of a sudden you might not see the results, but they come back here and you let them go. But there are also other times where production does matter, and you think about like some of the better outfielders that we've had over the last decade down there, and at some point you got to put up some numbers. I mean, that's just reality. And in Jordan's case, I know it's a frustrating time because you look at where he was 2 years ago at Double-A, and he was having a lot of success. But last year comes to the big leagues. I would say it was a little bit of up and down experience for him. And then this year just never really kind of got going. And, off-season planning, he was definitely someone that we thought would be middle of the order right-handed bat for us. And unfortunately, it's just not where it needs to be. But I keep reminding myself he's only 22. So there's time, and you have to be patient here.
True. Thank you for this. Appreciate the time very much. We're a couple of minutes away from letting people go to the Cardinals Network pregame. We look forward to today's game, and I know you do as well. Thank you, Mo.
Thank you.
John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations. Great to squeeze him in. Got in a little early there at 11:25, so he could give us a little more time. We appreciate that because we're going to go here at 11:35. But with just 2 minutes to go, just a little setup for what you have today on our Audacy network of stations. So on KMOX, we're going to turn things over to Cardinals pregame here for an 11:40 start. Joe Pott is in the building, and we'll bring that for you. And in Washington, D.C., John Rooney, Ricky Horton have the call. Mike Claiborne, Jim Jackson, what a crew they have been all year. The great radio crew. They're going to bring you our production here at 11:40 with a 12:35 first pitch. Then after the game, we want you to stay tuned to Cardinals post game. Joe Pott will have a rundown of everything Cardinals. And then we invite you tonight at 8 o'clock to tune in to 98.1 FM. That is Y98. They will have City and the Colorado Rapids. They will be going head-to-head tonight. The City team has come off a 2-0 victory over the San Jose Earthquakes, and now they have an opportunity to win back-to-back games under their interim coach, John Hackworth. And that's a Colorado team that embarrassed them a few weeks ago, 3-0. So I'm certain they have a little bit of fire under them to get a win for not only Hackworth, but for themselves. And it would be a massive 3 points to pick up because they're 8 points out of a playoff spot in the Western Conference. We'll see if they can grab it. Lutz Pfannenstiel joined us at 11:15. Ty Keough was with us at 10:45. We had Chris Durkin at 10:30. And back at 10:15, we had Oli Marmol, the Cardinals manager, who told us that at some point Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado are going to carry this team, and he will look forward to that day. He has them 4-5 in the batting order today against the Nationals. Our producer is Drew Young. I'm Tom Ackerman. Thanks to Scott Jagow. Tyler Rosen is in the house. He'll be producing Cardinal baseball. It comes your way next.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year.